Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me here again on this channel. Back with another video. This time is another Hot Toys figure. Again, I'm trying to round out my Avengers Hot Toy lineup. As you guys can see, this is Black Widow. This is from the Black Widow movie that came out a couple of years ago. I did like that movie, and I also decided that I wanted to have that look for my Avengers lineup. I got this via Sideshow. It was on sale a while back, at least from the filming of this video, but you guys could see it there. Hot Toys, again, adding another one to the collection. There's the artwork of the Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff herself. You pull that off, you do get that, and then here it's a opening kind of thing. You open this and you see more Black Widow. There seems to be some background or rubble from that movie itself, and of course the figure there, again Black Widow here, and on the back you have the actual Hot Toys figure in that pose that I believe they used in a lot of the promotional movies, promotional posters for that movie. So, and I'm a huge fan of this suit. I think this is the one that kind of was a little closer to what I'm used to from the comic books with the gold gauntlets there and the belt. But really cool. I'll get this open and show you guys, what the Widow is like. Okay, so we got Black Widow right here out of the box, and initial impressions are pretty positive. The figure itself looks great. Before we get to that, we'll go through some of the accessories really quickly that you do get. You get her batons in two different configurations. So you get these just straight up standing, up and down. These can't move at all. And of course, you do get hands specifically that are made to hold the batons. But the details on these, again, are really well done. They're plastic. And on these, you can remove this top portion here. We can pull this out and replace it with, they give you two additional parts here that you can replace them with. So they're kind of closed off and are essentially, these have the little prongs there. So that's a thing you could do with these. Again, these are really nice. I think I'm going to end up posing her with these. So it's really cool. These have no articulation whatsoever, so I would try to be really careful with bending them or trying to put them in any kind of position. They're very stiff, but again, the detail that's there is well done. So that's really cool. And again, as I say, you do get a pair of hands that specifically go towards holding these batons here. So you could essentially take, let's say, this hand here in that style and stick the baton there. There you go. So she could be holding them both. Of course, like most of other Hot Toys, you can just pull the hands out. They actually do give you additional joints here, I guess, in case those break, because I know sometimes the hands are a bit harder to pull off the body, but that's cool that they include those extra ones. Speaking of batons, you also do get another kind, which are pretty much the same ones, except that, as you could see, these actually have joints that you can use to pose. Let's move her out of the way for now. So you can pose these around. These have articulated points and different sections here, so you can put them in different positions. They have these sort of like knife edges here, which are made out of plastic. The instructions do lead me to believe that these tips can be removed, just like the other batons, but I haven't had much luck. At least on mine, it seemed very stiff. So if you want to replace him with these, the instructions kind of say you can, but on mine, I'm not going to risk trying to break it, but it was really hard to pull this off. But same thing as these, right? You can use these hands to sort of hold the batons in place, and these again give you more of a postability You can post them in different positions. So that's really cool. Um, of course, you get guns. As Black Widow, you gotta have some guns. So you do get this gun here with the sight, and I guess the extra. I'm not sure. Maybe this is like an extra magazine or something on the bottom here. But this gun, again, really cool, really well done. Got some nice details. And you get the red sight there. And of course, you do get hands. She's got hands here where she's got her finger on the trigger. And you do get those for both hands as well. And you can pull those out. Additionally to that, on the figure itself, she's got gun holsters. So you do get a pair of handguns. An additional pair of handguns here, which are made out of plastic, and they got some really nice detailing. And these guns specifically, obviously she can hold them in her hands, but these are the ones that are meant to go in the holster. So these fit in really nicely in there. And the instructions actually do tell you not to attempt to fit this other one in there. Obviously, this will not fit just because of this extra part down here. So be really careful with that. Additional hands, you do get these sort of like reaching out hands or sprawled out hands. So you get 2 pairs of those. So in total, you get 5 pairs if you include the ones that she comes with. You could see there, she's got some nice sort of pointing or reaching out hands to put her in different poses. And of course, this being a Hot Toys figure, you get your base. So again, this being the Black Widow movie one, you're going to get that Black Widow logo with some matte background here and some shiny Black Widow logo with lettering, Marvel Studios. Over here you get the Black Widow name. So again, really cool. The stand's slightly different than all the other ones that I have. You get this, which is pretty much like meant to go in the crotch. So you put this in here and it's supposed to hold the figure from underneath to help with the posing there. So again, really cool stuff here. The guns look really nice. The baton specifically I will use for posing. I like all the different hand options. Now, moving on to the figure itself. Let's start off down here. Again, the detail, again, that's on the boots, really well done. All the straps, this is like I guess I'm assuming a rubber material, feels like it here. Then you move on down to the knees here, and this starts to feel more like the Hot Toys Captain America material, so a bit rubbery. You got the knee pads here, but the detail is definitely there. As you keep on moving down here, these straps here are again like plastic rubber. They're really nicely done, and you've got a mixture, because then as you start getting up into the legs, this material here feels like spandex. So I'm assuming that'll help with the posability and lack of creasing, which you would get from this other material here. And it, again, this is pretty much what the suit looked like in the show here. So again, same thing on the back. You've got some nice detailing here on the boots, some nice folds, and you got this sort of like rubber / plastic material. Then you got soft details here, the spandex actually, and then you've got the belt, obviously, that sort of goes here to the front, which is connected to the gun holsters. As I mentioned before, the guns fit in there, no problem. So that can go in. I love the, I guess, gold detail here on the belt. Again, very comic book accurate, which is one of the reasons, or very close to the comic book anyway, of for me wanting to get this figure. And again, moving on up here, you've got the mid body here. So again, more of that rubbery material mixed in with the spandex, more pliable material. You got some black and gray highlights. The arms, same thing again. I love these, I guess, widow stings, as I call them. But love these things because, again, they remind me a lot of the comic book or the way she looks in the comic book. She's got her hands here in a fist, but as I said, you can always, switch these out if you needed to. So you can just very carefully try to pull them out. And that's usually what I run into is with these is the whole thing ends up coming out rather than the hand itself. So it's something that you have to sort of learn to play with there to get this. Moving forward here with the review, I would manage to get the hand there with the gun back in. But again, I did take a bit of wrestling with getting the joint back in. So again, I'm glad they give you extra ones, but just something to be on the lookout for. Again, continuing the whole spandex with some of the plastic or rubber material. Again, the suit does look really nice. I mean, it's all black and gray, but again, that's what the character usually wears. You got some detail here. There is a little bit of a zipper. I don't know if you guys could see it where my finger is at. Of course, here on you got the shoulder pads, which have this little nice red detail. Again, that's really cool. I appreciate. And it's got some, it looks worn. So again, same thing here on this side. But and the material here again on the arms, it's a bit of a mixture of again the stretchy spandex. It looks like with this rubber material, and you do have some elbow pads there. You've got this section here, which I guess it's the straps for her backpack, and we'll probably need to move the head slightly out of the way. The backpack here, you've got the some nice little red details. This is hard plastic, and you've got these batons, the handles of the batons permanently attached to them. At least I'm not going to try and take them off in fear of breaking them, but they are again, they have articulation, so if you need to sort of have move her head, you see they kind of do have a bit of a give, but again, not a lot, but the articulation that's there is really cool. Moving on to the face here. Now, as far as the likeness of this figure, I want to say she resembles, again, Natasha or the actress, again, Scarlett Johansson. It's not a one-to-one likeness, so I'm not going to look at this and say, okay, that's the Black Widow. It has a resemblance to her. But again, it's a good looking piece by any means. I think she kind of looks more from a side profile, a little more aching to what was in the show. And as we look here at the face details, again, it's a great looking figure, and it does again resemble Natasha there from the movie. The lipstick, the nose, they've added details here on the face and the cheek. She does come off a little lighter, and maybe because of the camera and the light that I have here in this room. But the details that are there are really, really well done. The hair, which is one part that I do like. I like sculpted hair on these figures. I'm not a fan of rooted hair. I just think it looks looks a lot better with these smaller figures, and the detail that they've been able to add here with the strands and you got her braids here on the back, for example, which again, no complaints from me. I mean, it will get a bit on the way, but these are made of a little rubber, a little softer rubber, so you can slightly move them if you need to pose her head. Just being really careful with these little strands as well, just so that you don't break anything. One little detail that I forgot to mention is here on the ears. You could see she's got her earrings, her piercings here on the side. But overall, I'd say it's an awesome looking suit. The figure looks great. Now, I guess the other thing would be the thing to look at is posability. Posability is one of those things that with Hot Toys, it can be a bit compromised. They do have some figures that can be posed. This one can be put in some good poses. With the thing keeping in mind is that obviously if you're going to leave this thing in sort of like extreme pose for an extended period of time, you're just going to have to get used to at least the rubber sections having some creases or some degradation in this case. So like mine, I've had it like this at this bent elbow for a bit, and you could see even when you sort of try to straighten it, you're still going to get some kind of marking leftovers. Um, and same thing here, right? So because of the suit, you are sort of limited on what kind of poses you can do. So she can, for example, kick forward, but again, you see the suit kind of pulling there, and you don't want to pull it too much. The good thing is that this is this stretchy material, so it's good for allowing you. You can perhaps split the legs maybe that much, kick up maybe that much, which in all honesty for a figure is not a lot. But again, Hot Toys articulation is a bit limited, not because of they can't do it, but it's because again of the way they're presenting the figure. The knee you can bend probably about that much, but again you're going to get creasing here on the back, and again if you leave her in any kind of position, you are going to get creasing here, so just something to keep in mind. The feet here are on a ball joint, but you just have to be really careful with ensuring that you just move this very soft and slightly. They can rotate, and they can't really move this way, but again, you do have this motion here. Let's see, no, obviously you've got the elbow articulation, as I mentioned. Because of the suit, mine kind of tends to go back, which it can use that. It can hold it, I guess, higher than 90 degrees. You can spread the arms if needed. I don't think you'll have much of an issue there. Again, you have spandex or the stretchy material here, and the arms kind of can rotate forward. I probably wouldn't go past that. You might just tear something and then back maybe about that much. You can turn her, but again, because of the suit material, you're going to get some pulling and creasing. But to get her in a pose to take a couple of pictures, I think is going to look great. She can look down. So again, you're going to have to deal with that creasing, and she can, sort of if you want her to look up, she can look up. The head, as I said, you can look left, you can look right. You just need to be careful with these little plastic strands. If it gets caught on something, you don't want to break that. And again, they do give you some posability here with the batons to be able to, maneuver, etc. If you wanted her to look down right there, that nice side profile, I think, is what makes this figure for me. It looks really, really cool. But overall, I would say, again, as long as you have your expectations in check, this thing's not going to pose like an action figure. And it's really not, these are more like, I guess, adult action figures. But I'm kind of happy. I obviously have a couple of Hot Toys myself, so I knew what I was going for when I got this figure. But she does look great. Again, I got this suit specifically because it reminds me a lot of the comic book suit. I think in that instance, they've done a great job with recreating that. I think she looks really nice. She looks the part. I was a bit sort of trying to figure out which one to get because I was conflicted whether I should get this one or the white one, which was also in the movie. But I kind of went with this one because, again, I'm trying to, get a little closer to that comic book look, and I think she definitely looks apart. It's a really nice figure. You're not going to get one-to-one likeness to the actress or Natasha in this case, but it's there. You can tell obviously who the inspiration was for this figure. But overall, I am really, really happy with it. Alrighty, so as we wrap up the video here, I'll do some comparisons. Overall, really happy with it. There is just some minor things like the hands being a little hard to take off the joint, so I would just be really careful with constantly pulling those in and out just to avoid perhaps any breakage. They do include some extra ones. Again, like a lot of other Hot Toys, the posability is a bit limited. You can get some good poses out of the figure, but again, because of the suit, the material, and the accuracy that they want to go with, a lot of the posing, I would say, is kind of compromised. As I do the comparisons here, there is one minor, well, minor depending on how you look at it, complaint that I had, and that is the fact that I do think she may be a bit undersized for my liking. So there she is next to the Captain America from Endgame. And again, I know Natasha is smaller, obviously, than Steve Rogers, a super soldier. So I kind of can give that one away. But then she also looks perhaps a little bit undersized when you put her next to someone like Clint. I think it still works. It doesn't look too bad to my eyes. I just perhaps thought maybe she should be slightly taller just to get her, more in line with, Hawkeye here. But again, I think these three together look really cool. Again, the fact that she seems a bit tiny doesn't bother me too much when I put them next to these three guys. That's really cool. So we'll move them out of the way, making sure they stand and don't fall. Next would be here she is next to Thor. And again, Thor, obviously, again, I understand Thor is like a god, and he should be much, much bigger than that. So again, I'm okay with that in this case too. Again, something about it does make her seem a bit undersized, but again, I think that works. Again, Thor should be bigger than most Avengers, so no problem there. Here she is next to Black Panther. And I think this is where it kind of starts to bother me a bit. And I get it, obviously. T'Challa should be slightly taller than the Black Widow. But in this case, again, she does come off a little undersized there for my overall feel. This guy, I do have him sort of, there's a joint here where you can pull this up slightly. So he is a little taller because of that. But again, I can excuse this. I can make this work. Not much of an issue there. So we'll move these two out of the way. I think the one where it gets a little crazy, and again, I can make compromises in this instance, is when you put her next to somebody like War Machine. Now, okay, fine. War Machine's supposed to be in a huge suit. He's again the War Machine, so he's always got this big suit with the mech. I think in this case, you also see her there next to the Mark 85 Iron Man from Endgame. And again, I know these two, Rhodey and Tony, are in suits, and they're supposed to be much, much bigger. I think she should have been a little taller just to accommodate that. Again, I can make this work because in my crazy head, I can say, again, these two guys are wearing suits, so they're going to be bigger than most. And they're competing with like Thor, right? Who it's huge. But again, this aesthetic does work for me. Her being the smaller person on the team, no issues, sort of on my end, trying to make that work. But so we'll move the Mark 85 here out of the way, being really careful not to drop anything. And then the last two comparisons here are to two figures that are not in the same line, kind of. So here she is next to Spider-Man, the classic Spider-Man suit from the PlayStation video game, and again, the advanced suit 1.0 Spidey from that same game. She could stand again to be a little taller, but nothing major. Again, these are whole different lines. In this case, I don't mind her being smaller. I do think she should have been a smidge taller, for lack of a better term. But I don't think it really detracts from my enjoyment of the figure too much. You could see her there with the two Spideys. But overall, again, I am really happy because as you saw, I'm getting closer and closer to having my MCU Avengers collection better rounded, right? I have a Thor, I have Captain America, I have a Clint, we have an Iron Man here, we've got T'Challa, And again, I think just trying to make sure she doesn't fall. She works really well within this group. I'm still working on getting myself a Hulk. I do hope maybe Hot Toys will re-release a Hulk, considering they seem to be re-releasing everything nowadays. So I'm hoping that they'll release a Hulk, or I may just need to go, I guess, aftermarket or on eBay or something. Maybe get the Endgame or the Avengers one. So, but overall, I am really happy with this figure. I like the accessories that they've included. The figure itself is really cool. Again, posting is per par with other Hot Toys figures. It is limited because of the suit, but they do such a great job with the suit details and the suit design that I'm okay with sort of making that compromise in this case. But overall, really happy with Natasha here. She looks really cool, has all the cool weapons, and fits in really well, I think, with other than the sizing issue, which I'm okay with. But anyway, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. If I missed anything, or if you have any questions, certainly please feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care.